They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Religious cults control people's lives by using mind control techniques. The control is complete. You do not even know you are in a cult until you get free of it. I know this because I got free from a dangerous and deadly cult. What is the dangerous and deadly cult I was trapped by? I was part of the Watchtower cult, better known as Jehovah's Witnesses. I am sharing my story to alert people in an effort to help those with a family member or are themselves involved with this group on some level. My mother and I were recruited into the truth, as they like to call themselves, when I was 8 years old. By the age of 9, I was a baptized member. I started questioning the group in my teens and left in my early 20s. One of my friends, who had left the group years before I did, congratulated me on waking up. Then she dropped a bomb. You know that it's a cult, right? I laughed. No way. It might be a screwed up religion, but it's not a cult. She directed me to a website that identifies the methods and techniques of high authority groups, or cults as we call them. As I read the opening paragraphs, this sentence caught my eye. Some are universal, such as deception, indoctrinating people to distrust critics and former members, or installing phobias to make people afraid of questioning or leaving. Right off the bat, I recognize Jehovah's Witnesses are guilty of all of those practices. My curiosity piqued, I read on. The website provided an outline of how cults control members' behavior, information, thoughts, and even emotions to maintain control over the followers. It showed 51 main methods a cult can use. As I scanned through the list of cult techniques, I saw several I recognized from the Jehovah's Witnesses. Under behavior control techniques, I recognized 14 out of the 25 listed there. For example, number 11 on the list is rewards and punishments used to modify behaviors, both positive and negative. One example is the teaching only loyal Jehovah's Witnesses will live forever on the paradise earth. All others will die at Armageddon. As for the 6 techniques of information control, well, they definitely use 5 out of the 6. For example, item number 5 is extensive use of cult-generated information and propaganda, including newsletters, magazines, journals, audio tapes, videotapes, YouTube, movies, and other media. The Watchtower is its own publishing company, producing millions of magazines and books promoting their beliefs. They even printed their own translation of the Bible, the New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures. Looking at the list for thought control methods, I easily saw 9 out of the 11 were commonly used by the group. Item number 1 was the most obvious. Require members to internalize the group's doctrine as truth. The simple fact that the members internally call the group the truth is all I need to say about that. Lastly, I looked at the 9 emotional control methods. Jehovah's Witnesses regularly use 8 of the 9. Item number 6 really hit home with me. Extremes of emotional highs and lows. Love bombing and praise one moment, and then declaring you are a horrible sinner. I saw this happen repeatedly over my years in the cult. When a person chose to be baptized, they were applauded and love-bombed. But if that same person left the cult, they were to be shunned as if they were dead. Do the math and you'll find Jehovah's Witnesses use a minimum of 70% of the most common cult techniques of controlling their members. I'm one of the lucky ones. I escaped without severe damage. But there are millions who are still trapped in this cult, If you know one, or are one yourself, I want you to know there is a rich and rewarding life outside of the cult. I'm living proof of that. There is a wealth of information online about the deceit and hypocrisy of this group. I have dozens of videos like this one on the right where I share the information you need to become one of the lucky ones.